So it's handy. There's a little hatch you can open that lets you have access down behind the dash. And I figured out there is no like beeper that you can just plug in and out on this thing. And since I can't figure out how to get the stupid voltage light to stop flashing on and off, all I could do is put a piece of flex tape over the speaker, which I finally found right there. So hopefully I could just dumb that sound down a little bit. I haven't tried it yet, but anyway, actually we'll try it right now. Turn this thing on to see what it does. It should beep right now. Oh, huh! It's not any better. Damn it. Just beeps. I don't know. This is going to drive me crazy and I can't figure it out. I've tried pulling different fuses that go to different alarms. You know, say there's 2 alarms, it doesn't make any difference. The damn thing still beeps. So, yeah, I'm at a loss for how to fix it. And so I have to live with beeping for another 7 hours of driving.
A new place, a new home, for a while, let me feel alive. Nothing to hold me back, take my time, just enjoy the ride. A new man passing by, life is good, best I've ever felt. Get me up, somewhere new, somewhere I can find myself.
Anyway, I'm hitting the road this morning. That reservoir I was at was called Duncan Reservoir. It's like kind of a weird thing. I don't know why they built it there, but anyway, it was a nice place to camp. No problems. Never saw anybody out there. Just lots of wildlife, so that's nice. It's about a 5-mile trip off of the highway. So, you know, got to be willing to take your RV out a little bit of a dirt road to get there, but no challenge really. Plenty of clearance to the trees and everything. So other than the incessant beeping, which I can't fix, all is going well. Well, made it successfully. Back in Oregon, almost back to my parents' house. Other than the stupid beeping, which I will get figured out, no problems at all. Finn did great. Mileage pretty good. Pretty easy to average 7.5. And what else can I report? Well, I'll check in on the solar power later and see how it's doing. See what the batteries are doing. Well, I got her back in there a little further than I expected. And the ground is still a little soft. It's a little early in the season, so getting it leveled out is going to be a challenge. I'm going to see if I can scrounge up some good strong lumber to put under the leveling jacks. But the goal was to try to park somewhere where I could have as few trees above me as possible. This is the best spot I could find on my mom's property. So looks like I'm going to have my solar power and my Starlink probably going to be okay. I don't know, Starlink might be a little challenged, but I'll give it a shot anyway. Because everywhere else is just trees. so that's the spot. Okay, so we're going to look at how the power did today. Now, what's interesting is we started the day actually at like 73%. So now I did have the electric water heater on today, and that's probably about it of the big power suckers. Just normal draw, and we did drive all day, and so I'm actually kind of surprised we're not totally charged because of the solar and the alternator charging, because they did hook that back up again. So, you know, that's a little bit like suspect. I still got more testing to do to figure that out. But the amazing thing is this, even in clouds and rain, it's been picking up some solar power, even way late in the evening. So this much solar on the roof does help that. So now that I've just arrived in actually arrived yesterday, but now that I'm settled in here, I am very curious to find out what my solar system is going to be doing. Because not only are we much further north, we're surrounded by trees and it's cloudy, which is pretty typical for here. And I've noticed that since 10 a.m. this morning, it's currently almost 2 in the afternoon, but basically all day long, the solar panels have been pulling in about the same amount of power, around 500 watts. And so, pretty consistently 500 watts all day long. And even picking up, even last night at 6 in the afternoon, we're still picking up about 100 watts. So despite the fact that it's cloudy and surrounded by trees, we're just scavenging enough power. And the great thing is that, obviously I don't need air conditioners right now. My power needs aren't as high as they would be if I were further south where I would need air conditioning running. So with the huge amount of storage and with this consistent amount of power, even when it's cloudy or raining or whatever, actually that can pretty well meet the needs of the RV. So it's kind of an interesting test. Now, I shouldn't say it completely meets the needs of the RV, because with this amount of power, I would be scared to run my electric water heater 24/7. And that the old fridge, it's the original fridge. When it's running on AC power, it does suck a lot of power. New fridges are much more efficient. If I put a new DC powered fridge in here, it wouldn't be any big deal. In fact, I'm running my basement DC fridge, for freezer. It barely draws anything. But that old fridge, I'm kind of going to be watching if I want to run that electric or run it, because it can run on propane too. So at least I have that flexibility. So if I can run the water heater and the fridge on propane, and then the rest of the RV barely uses any power. So it could be middle of winter, I would still probably scavenge enough power to run Starlink and meet all my needs in microwave and do laundry and everything else. So there is, so people will say, oh, well, what's the point of putting on all this solar power if you're going to be up north? Well, you can just scavenge enough power to meet your needs. It's pretty amazing. Well, can you believe it? I am back in Virginia. I am back here at Momentum. What are the odds of that, huh? Nothing crazy this time. The boat is officially sold. I sold it months and months ago, but I am back here to help the new owners get comfortable on the boat, help with boat projects, help them learn to handle everything. Any sailing catamaran's a complex thing, so there's an awful lot of little systems and quirks and everything else. And these guys haven't, they've spent a lot of time on small sailboats and other boats, but they've, they're not intimately familiar with the large sailing catamaran. So, certainly a valuable thing to have someone familiar with the boat to help get familiar with it. So, so I'm here, flew in, and I'm going to spend as much time as is really needed to help the new owner named David, his wife Jessica. They've got 3 kids. I'm going to be helping them to get comfortable on the boat. So first step is I'm on the boat with David, and he's working hard to get familiar with things. So we have already started the cleanup process. This boat's been sitting all winter. She's absolutely filthy. So especially on the side that didn't see a lot of sun, it's like green. It's really ridiculous. So a lot of washing, a lot of scrubbing, doing laundry, taking advantage of the fact that we have water and power at the dock. Unlimited water is the real key here, is to be able to do tons of loads of laundry and everything else, and just get everything washed and cleaned and organized. And so he's going through every bin, so he knows what's in there, what supplies he's got and doesn't have. And then he's brought his little car over here, so I'm not sure he knows what plan for the car is going to be, once he sails away, but he's got a car right now. So so we can run to all the different stores and West Marines and all those kind of things, and just deal with stuff. So everything's in on the boat. The weather's starting to get warm here, and it's May in Virginia, so it's kind of hit and miss. It could be a warm day or a cold day kind of at this time of year. It could have rain, could have sun, and definitely probably going to see some afternoon storms this time of year. So that's kind of where we're at with this, and kind of working on now getting things clean. So figuring out what potions and lotions clean things the best. This is kind of the fun topic that's happening right now. So for instance, what substances can scrub this dingy Hypalon back to this nice pretty shiny gray again, back from its kind of faded gray, so we're trying out different things on that. And same thing with the rubber like trim that goes all around the boat. What cleans the rubber trim, what doesn't. So and then, you know, on the boat, pretty much, you know, there's special boat soaps, but honestly I've been really good with just Dawn soapy water. Lots of soapy water, lots of scrubbing, lots of hosing off. So that's, you know, that's where we're at. And then I'm gonna help him. We're gonna have to do a name changing ceremony because he's changing the name. She's not gonna be Momentum anymore, so that's a whole nother thing that's happening. Got to make that official. So we have been working hard to get this boat cleaned up. So far, got this top washed, and it looks like tremendously better. It had been just about a year, I think, since this boat had the top washed, and it's been sitting all winter. So so it looks a lot better up here. Still green and filthy down on the underside. We're working our way top down. Scrub these life vests off to see if we can kind of freshen them up a little bit. And now I'm working on this rubber trim rail, whatever you call this, and it gets kind of gooey and moldy, especially where people put their hands. So usually I use a bleach spray on there, but in order to not use bleach, right, alternatives. So kind of trying different things. That there's some other sailors here who swear by this Marine Spray 9, so I'm about to try that. But I was just trying this 303 mold and mildew blocker, and yeah, well, you can see this towel. I took a lot of goo off of it with that, so that stuff seems to be a pretty solid option, and it's bleach free. Now we're going to see what happens with this guy on some of this kind of stuff. Okay, I sprayed it on there. Gonna work it into the texture here and see if it can do any better than the other stuff. Well, not really getting any difference. This doesn't seem to take off any different than that does, so both of them seem to work. So I might actually pull out the bleach cleaner and see, because I remember that always working better than anything I ever found. So I have to resort back to that again, I think. So right now, everything we're doing is all about getting off the dock. It's sure handy being at a dock. You got water and power unlimited, so you can do extra things, especially the water, obviously, because we make water on the boat, but we don't make enough to be washing the whole boat. So yeah, I've already been working down in the little front cockpit here, and she's looking pretty good. I'm happy about that. Yeah, so we got cleaning, and we got the laundry, kind of washing all the major things on the boat. We got unlimited water, and then engine maintenance, of course, because you don't want to be, I mean, you're not driving the boat anywhere if you're doing engine maintenance. So David's up there right now doing the cooling system, which is kind of a major thing. Flushing all the coolant and cleaning out the heat exchanger. So I might check in on him in a minute. And then I'm going to be working on more cleaning, and I'm doing a lot of other little repairs on the boat. And so we'll jump in on a few things just to kind of show you what it's like. But yeah, it is a ton of work. I mean, we're probably going to be spending a week or week and a half doing all these things to kind of de-winterize the boat. And of course, the first thing I did was to run everything, because it had, we had, you know, before I left the boat last time, I had put the antifreeze into all the lines. So yeah, so getting everything fleshed out and working again has been a big thing. So when the tide gets real high around here, the water comes up so high that it just about covers up the road. So you have a house around here, you're not much above sea level. That's for sure. Sea level is going to rise, you're in big trouble, but that probably makes sense. This is probably the old house. These guys built their house up on stilts. Now we're in the car, and this tide's really up today, and check it out. The road is completely covered. It's amazing. That church down the street is probably, the graveyard's probably underwater right now. Yeah, you know me, I always got to try a brewery. So this channel is about three things. It's all about living an amazing life on a budget, right? That's the retiring early, living an amazing life on a budget is the focus of the channel. But it's about three things primarily, which is traveling in countries where it's very affordable. So traveling Asia is usually where I do that, and then living an RV life, where you can travel around the country in a motorhome, and then it's living boat life. And both RV and boat life, to live on a budget, is challenging. You got to be self-sufficient. You've got to stay off grid. You can't be paying high marina fees or RV park fees, and so that is the the new focus for this next phase of this channel. We're going to be spending some time on the water, and we will be talking about maintaining a boat and how to stay off grid on the boat and how to be self-sufficient on the boat, because right now we're taking advantage of a marina, but once we leave here it's going to be all about how to stay out of the marina, because anchoring is free. And so if you can keep your boat off of out of a marina and you can anchor, you can be all over the world and you can be doing it for free. If you can travel by the wind or the sun power, then you're not paying for any fuel. It keeps the budget in check, right? So it's going to be now talking all about the ways to do that. So stay with me and keep following my channel, subscribe, and we're going to do all that stuff.